What are you doing in our realm?
Mila's vanished.
Wait, what?
Something was amiss with the soul purification process. Or so she said, but I lost contact with her after she used my power to exit the spirit realm.
So she's here in the human realm?
Indeed, she should be, but I guess you haven't seen her.
Come on, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. It's win-win. I don't see why you even need to bother Dr. Mathis with this.
Look, for the last time, our answer is no.
You sure about that? I've heard a few things about this lab, you know. Your research is dead in the water without this, am I wrong?
Dr. Mathis!
I'm Jude Mathis. Sorry to keep you waiting. How might I help you today?
Ah, Dr. Mathis. Just the man I wanted to see. I've got an offer you can't refuse. It's about that device of yours.
I already told you, it's still undergoing clinical trials. We're not ready to accept any offers.
But I hear you've achieved a success rate close to 80% with lesser spirit class spyrites. That's good enough for practical use. Sign an exclusive distribution deal with us and you'll find yourselves on Easy Street.
We'll decide when the device is good enough. A 20% failure rate just doesn't cut it.
Is that so? You're certainly cavalier about your lack of progress. I know how much money has been sunk into this project. Investors aren't exactly the patient type. Of course, I didn't come to a contract negotiation empty-handed. That's a great spirit fossil. Something like that might come in handy for your research.
A great spirit? Celsius, perhaps?
Yep, the genuine article. Wielded by the leader of Exodus himself.
Celsius's fossil sank to the bottom of the sea a year ago, in the ruins of the ESS Zenithra. The Riza Maxian government conducted the salvage operation of the Zenithra. I believe that makes this fossil the property of Riza Maxia. How'd you end up with it?
You certainly know your stuff, Dr. Mathis.
Perhaps it's time for you to leave.
I know when I've worn out my welcome. I'll bid farewell for today. But I hope you'll give my proposal some thought, for the sake of your research.
Don't forget that.
Consider it a gift. Although you didn't get it from me, of course. Catch my drift?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm sorry you had to deal with that guy.
Oh no, I'm totally okay. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Mathis. Thanks to all of you.
Mary, would you put this in safekeeping for me? I don't know if it really is what he claims, but why take any chances?
Of course. I'll inform Dr. Balin as well.
Thanks, Mary. Let's go. Sorry for getting you mixed up in this. I get that a lot. I get where they're coming from, but we just need more data before we can begin full-scale implementation. If we could begin testing it with great spirits. No, forget I said that. We can't rush into things unprepared. Yeah, you're right. We're too close to our goal to risk going off the rails now. It's just that sometimes I lose sight of my convictions. Then I don't know what to do.
Jude.
Thanks. I'll keep looking for an answer. It's out there somewhere. Thanks for coming along, Luger. It felt good to have some backup. Marksburg seems like a pretty nice city.
Yeah, it's like a bridge between Olympias and Riza Maxia. Not just literally, but metaphorically, you know? A year ago, I'd never have believed this could exist at all.
Isn't it amazing how much our actions can change the future?
Speaking of which, it's amazing how much Jude's changed.
Huh? Me?
Look at your hair! Suddenly you're all trendy.
Exploring your sexy side, are you, Jude?
Sexy? Rowan, come on. It doesn't have anything to do with that.
So, what prompted it?
I just like to try something different now and then.
In other words...
Exploring your sexy side?
I guess.
Hey, you're all okay.
It's the informant lady!
I'm Jolene, remember? I just feel horrible about what happened. I don't suppose I could bribe my way back into your good graces.
What are these?
Winged boots. Just a little something-something to lighten your load and make you love me again.
What are you talking about?
A star reporter like you ought to be able to figure it out. By the way, an agent from Spurious is staying at the inn here. Toodles!
Maybe she should be a reporter.
What do you want?
Where does it hurt? I'm a doctor.
We've confirmed your arrival at Aladi Sea Haven. Recover the data from the pursuit agent and return to Company HQ.
Sorry about that. Here's the data.
But these poor people...
Recovering the data is your top priority. Bring it to HQ immediately.
What's so special about it?
It's a copy of all the fractured dimension data that the former Director Kresnik had collected and analyzed.
Huh? Fractured dimension?
So you had a run-in with Julius?
Yes. We had him outnumbered 10 to 1, and yet he still decimated us.
But at least we got the data off him. Get it back to HQ. It'll really help us improve our ability to detect waymarkers.
You all go on ahead. I'll take care of these people.
Need a hand, Princess?
I prefer the company of Rowan, thank you.
This old geezer would be honored to help, young mistress.
Good thing I have thick skin.
We've been expecting you, Mr. Kresnik. Please deliver the item in question directly to the CEO himself.
Look at this place! It's so big and pretty!
Indoor voice, Leia.
Who are these people? I believe only Mr. Kresnik was invited.
We're a package deal.
I'm Luger's friend and advisor.
And I'm the acting guardian of these miners.
I'm acting guardian number 2. And I'm acting guardian of this kitty.
One moment, please.
Acting guardian number 2, huh?
Look who's talking!
All of you may enter. Mr. Bakura is most impressed by the loyalty you engender in others, Mr. Kresnik.
Why, Luger, I've been waiting for you. Thanks. Any leads on your brother's whereabouts? Well, as it turns out, I have news for you of both varieties. Good and bad. Which one first?
Mr. Kresnik's going on the police's most wanted list.
Your life's about to get a lot tougher.
So they're gonna throw Luger in jail? Wasn't there good news?
Indeed, I would like to recruit you as an agent in our company. Don't act so surprised. It makes perfect sense. I've been keeping my eye on you this whole time. You never back down from difficult situations. More importantly, you have the strength to face them.
I'd wager you've been doing more than just keeping an eye on him.
You've been testing Luger.
You can't get the true measure of a man by observing from a distance. What do you say? Become one of my agents and I'll keep the police off your back, even if I have to get pushy.
He doesn't even have a choice. This is blackmail.
I failed to mention that an agent's salary is considerable. You'll be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You can avoid arrest and pay off that massive loan almost overnight, provided you show me results, of course.
What kind of results?
No fractured dimensions.
Fractured dimensions?
Surely you've noticed them.
Worlds like ours, but not?
Think of this flower as our prime dimension, a world where history flows in a way that's familiar to us. But it's not the only blossom. There are offshoots.
When one of these appears, it disperses soul energy from the prime dimension. Our dimension, in other words.
Wait, it disperses? That can't be good.
And what happens if we don't do anything about it?
Ultimately, souls will vanish from the prime dimension. Of course, this means humans will die out as well.
Whoa, whoa, time out.
This all sounds pretty far-fetched.
Olympius going dry, the failure of Spyrite technology. What if I were to tell you those effects were caused by the loss of soul energy from the prime dimension?
It can't be true.
Oh, but it is. Spirius has been working to save our world by eliminating its counterparts in the fractured dimensions.
How could you possibly eliminate an entire world?
That is a question for our friend Luger here. His chromatis transformation has the power we need to infiltrate and destroy these parasitic realities.
The power to destroy a world.
No fair! I have no idea what everybody's talking about!
Luger, for the sake of this world, the true world, you must help us. He was the best of the best. Julius eliminated more than 100 fractured dimensions.
We believe it's very likely that former Director Kresnik has fled into one such dimension.
Find him and you'll kill 3 birds with 1 stone. That's a good lad. You're officially a DODA agent of Spirius.
One thing I still don't get. What's causing these fractured dimensions?
It's not a what, it's a who.
A great spirit of Canaan. Kronos.
The land of Canaan?
Another great spirit?
There is nothing to fear. We have in our possession the power needed to oppose him. Come to the underground training area, and I will show you how to wield it.
I have to admit, being an agent for the Spirius Corporation is kind of a big deal. But are you sure about this? Thought so. But if the CEO says you can handle it, that's a big thumbs up. I mean, my editor will barely let me take down a classified ad. This could be your big chance to make it big. What reporter uses big twice in one sentence?
Bisley Bakor certainly lives up to his reputation.
He certainly makes an impression. He's like...
That's not far from the truth.
Bakor casts a heavy shadow over the world of Olympian politics. If he wanted to, he could probably topple the government or single-handedly start his own war.
I've been reading back issues of the paper, and it seemed like the Spirius Corporation was a driving force behind the Otherworld reactor plan. But as soon as the schism was destroyed, they immediately switched sides to back Marcia's moderate government.
I wonder what they hope to achieve with that change.
This doesn't sound like any king I've ever heard of.
Well, regardless, he's Luger's boss now. Let's just make sure we're the ones using him and not the other way around.
That makes sense. We can't accomplish much without him.
But be careful. I don't think that Bakor was lying, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't telling us everything either.
I agree.